Highlands to Johnson City, Tennessee. It is glorious weather for round 4 of SoCon soccer action as the Buccaneers of ETSU, unbeaten in a school record 8 straight games, play host to the Wofford Terriers, who are still looking for their first SoCon win of 2025. Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Keith Rake, providing the play-by-play of this one. These are two teams with a lot of exciting young talent that bodes well, not just for the future of these programs, but future stars for the league that are already coming into their own as underclassmen. And we look at them in tonight's Impact Players, starting with the Terriers and the potential freshman of the year in the league. Julia Greer has played well over 600 minutes. She started every game for the Terriers so far this season, and she's the only freshman in the league with more than 600 minutes so far in 2025. She's the team's leading goal scorer, or among them, and is an integral part of what they do in the midfield, and she's going to see a lot of the ball tonight as the Terriers look to thwart this Buccaneer press that is very aggressive. And they've got a great young sophomore that is very good at setting that press and working off that press off of Reagan Fitzgerald as well. That's Jada Cooper, sophomore from Chattanooga. She got a goal and 2 assists against Radford and just has not stopped. 2 goals, 3 assists in her last 4 games. She is aggressive. She's got a great touch inside the box. So if you get the ball to her with a little bit of time and space, it can go a long, long way for ETSU, and secondary scoring options are a huge deal for the Buccaneers. They look for someone to play off of Fitzgerald, and they may very well have it. We'll step aside and return with starting lineups in the opening kick of ETSU. And Wofford in just a moment. Stay tuned. SoCon Soccer on ESPN+ is on, and Wofford getting ready to kick it off here in just a couple of minutes. And the starting lineups are brought to you by Hometown Plumbing, and they start with the Terriers. And this is a brand new coaching staff under Kevin Dempsey, but a lot of familiar faces throughout the formation. Ines Obradovac is at the top of that formation. She came off the bench in the last game against Samford for Annie Andrews to start. Obradovac is back in the lineup. She and Sashi Bureau, great chemistry. Of course, Greer in the middle there as well. And then for ETSU, same lineup. They got a 1-1 road draw at Mercer to extend their unbeaten streak. It snapped the winning streak at 6, but it's extended the unbeaten streak to 8, which is the longest in school history. Sadie Comerford, very good down the left side, has really come into her own in the second half of the year. And Caroline Walwack, the freshman right back, is someone to keep an eye on. Pacey, athletic, long, and can put a ball on a pinhead at times when called upon. She had a great cross to get a really nice goal, a game-winning goal for ETSU in their last game against UNCG for Fitzgerald. And then on top of that, she also got a pretty good goal herself to salvage a draw at Mercer. Our keys to the game, those are brought to you by and we're underway. Aaron Johnson sitting on a gorgeous night. It is picturesque weather. It's not unbearably hot. It's a little warm in the sun, but it feels really, really good in the shade, and it will get cooler as the night proceeds. Terriers with the ball out wide on the left side. That's Satya Tarafdar, and Tarafdar dispossessed. And gets it right back, just stays right in it to Bureau. Sashi Bureau to Delaney Minor. Quick little give and go that time for Tarafdar, and then it's knocked back up the field to Jada Cooper. Here's Walwack. Over the top, looking for Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald trying to create some problems early, but Bailey Mullen is up to it. But then turns it over. This is Jada Cooper. Cooper with a chance. to get something going, but then a great sliding tackle that time. Forces her into a corner. Good work by Mullen. 73 degrees at kick, sunny skies, a light breeze blowing in across the field from east to west. But it's kind of swirling around out there. This is Ruby Texera, who almost needs a sun visor to take this corner kick with the right foot and puts it on the right boot of Fitzgerald, and she misses. And so that's the first work of the night for Elizabeth Navola, a sophomore from Davidson, North Carolina, who has taken over goalkeeping duties in earnest this season for a Terriers group that's got a new head coach. Kevin Dempsey is at the helm and trying to get this team back into competitive spaces in the SoCon. Hasn't quite gone off for him yet, but they really started in the deep end. They got blown out by a really good Chattanooga team. They lost 4-1 to Sanford in their last game, and between those two, a 1-1 draw with the Citadel, which is probably the textbook case of dropping points. As there's Texera for ETSU up along the left flank of their formation, has become a fixture there in a variety of roles as a winger and also as a wing back. As Markey turns it over to Ella Parker, but then taken right back by the Terriers. Here's Abradovac, one brief touch, and then it's cleared away up to Fitzgerald. Texera playing a little more central now. Good work by Estep. Cooper eats. Trying to get that out to Comerford on the right side. Uses support from Wawak. She has to battle 1v1 out there with Bureau. And discretion, the better part of valor that time. Don't try to force the ball forward. Ainsley Parker, good freshman out of Canada. Out on the right side, Comerford. Comerford plays this through. Eats is out on the wing. Not where you see Grace Eats a whole lot. Crosses block. Comerford gets a touch on it. And then a Wofford defender loses a boot. And that's another corner kick. I think it was Bureau that lost her shoe. And so Texera trots back out to take the second corner of the match. It's corner number 2 for ETSU. And with the right foot once again, this time both hands up. Curling it toward the post, it's headed in! Reagan Fitzgerald right on the goal line, puts it home for the Buccaneers, and they strike in the 5th minute. Well, if that's not a statement of intent from the league's leading goal scorer, what is? Number 9 this year for Fitzgerald, her 16th. And in the first minute of, or the 5th minute of proceedings, ETSU takes the lead. Fitzgerald from Texera. Terrific work. That's great. It's just, don't sit and lurk under the ball. Fitzgerald really good with her head and getting up in the air and also doing that at a run. And ETSU jumps on Wofford early here on Thursday night. So do the Terriers have something going forward to try to mount a counterpunch. Greer, that's knocked away that time by Estep. And now the Buccaneers exactly where they normally aren't. They normally don't score in the first 15, 20 minutes, but they have been wildly successful the last 3 seasons when they have. Cooper draws a foul and a free kick. And it's just such an outlier. They've done it very rarely, scoring this early in a game over the last 3 seasons. Of course, 2023, they were really, really good. They had Sino Asane as the number 10, and then Grace Eats could play a variety of different roles in the attack. As that Ball forward is knocked away by DeMars for a throw-in. 2024 was a little bit tougher sledding for them. They had a lot of injuries early. They had to change formations after the initial plan kind of had to be scrapped because of those injuries. But when ETSU scores early, they are so good and organized defensively, they are difficult to crack. So that's the challenge for Wofford now, trying to get points on the road. Here's Ella Parker. That ball takes a carom, and it finds its way to Eats, and then Eats shoots it right into the defender. Obradovac, dispossessed by Wallach. Georgia Shields, who's been in really good form at the left back spot. Texera, Ainsley Parker. Switches, finds Comerford out wide on the right. Comerford 1v1 out there with Tarafdar and can't get past her. Has to recollect. And the cross deflected out off Tarafdar, another corner. Fitzgerald was lurking at the back post, just kind of out of the equation, and then came in, got leverage over a defender and over Nivola, and headed one home into the roof of the netting last time. Texera looking for more of the same here maybe. Goes a little too long. Comes out the other side to Shields. Shields with a right-footed cross. That is dangerous, headed away by the Wofford defense. Here's Eats trying to juggle, gets it into Fitzgerald inside of two defenders, and the ball squirts out and is cleared away as Mary Elise Greer knocks that out into touch. Fitzgerald gets inside leverage, and then a good late tackle. Mullen able to recover. A little bit of contact, but it ends up a corner. Not enough for a penalty. And now Eats to take it from the corner to the goalkeeper's right. Senior from Roswell, Georgia, has yet to score her first goal of the season, but does have 3 assists, plays an integral role in what the Buccaneers want to do. Takes this one short. Shields shoots it low. That's blocked back up in the air by Mullen. Another crack at it. Shields, and Mullen with a good header. Obradovac has Shields sneak right around her and pick her pocket. Cooper can't quite control it. It comes out to Julia Greer. Gets that out on the left side to Bureau. Greer. Greer on the run. Bureau on the left side. Has a couple of options. Cross deflected out by Wallach. That's a corner for Wofford. It's Ellie Gower out there to take the corner. Gower, senior from Greenville, South Carolina. She's got 3 assists this season, 8 for her career. Can be dangerous from these areas. And in the 9th minute, Wofford already behind the 8 ball a little bit. Plays this curling along the near post. That's headed away. Gets it back. A little bit of a better angle on the left flank, but that's headed away by Texera. Takes a deflection, and the Terriers control it. Tarafdar to Greer. Mary Elise Greer. Ainsley Parker knocks that down. Eats. Oh, that's a tough pass. Threaded the needle to Texera. And then good along the ground to Comerford. She's got a couple of options working with her. Comerford takes it to the right edge of the area. Comerford, little cross, goes behind Jada Cooper. Ball still free in the box. Fitzgerald tries to swipe that back toward Texera at the edge of the 6. And it's cleared away for an ETSU throw-in. Buccaneers with good tempo, as they kind of had to pinball it back around on the counterattack. Throw in taken short to Texera. Parker, Ella Parker that is, the stalwart defender. Back to Ainsley Parker now. A step a little long on that pass. Ends up at the feet of Markey. And now back to Gower. Mary Elise Greer. Markey again. Obradovac. And an opportunity maybe on the run for Julia Greer. Greer trying to get an angle on the defender and does. Runs it all the way to the edge of the area. Now the defender overruns her. Cross is blocked on the midsection of Ella Parker. And Grace Eats gets that back to Parker, who loops it over the top of Markey searching for the ball. But Kate Markey comes up with it. Here's Tarafdar on the left side. Out to Sashi Bureau. Bureau down the left wing, and the pass misses Obradovic.
Ruby, we have the chance to jump right here. We got to jump. Come on. Right there. In the half space.
In the 12th minute, ETSU has already put one on the board. Reagan Fitzgerald's 9th this season, her 16th of her career. That ties her for 10th on the all-time career list at ETSU. And the Buccaneers have got to be smiling ear to ear as a unit, but especially head coach Jay Yelton. It's the most goals any one player has scored in a career in his tenure in Johnson City. There's a misstruck clearance, but it ends up back in the boot of Eats, and Eats finds Fitzgerald with room to run. Fitzgerald on the attack again. Fitzgerald waits, lets the play develop, and then misses it over the bar. Was trying to wait for the defender, I think it was Mullen, to just sweep right past her and give her more room to open up the angle. And when Mullen didn't take the bait, Fitzgerald had to get a shot off. Junior from Oviedo, Florida. Plays with exactly the kind of toughness you'd expect from somebody that was a linebacker in Pop Warner football as a little kid. And she plays through just about anything and everything. She actually played a game earlier this season against Longwood with a black eye. So she got it going up for a header on a set piece. And really just only added character to Fitzgerald, who can be such a physically challenging player to mark and defend in a lot of areas. But especially right on the goal line, if she gets a running jump and gets her head to the ball, it's good night. Here's Ines Obradovic. Dispossessed. Throw-in goes to the Terriers.
We go. Deal with the next one. Next play. Come on, Jada. Next play. Next action. Next action. Ainsley, a little more central, Ainsley. A little more central.
Here's Obradovic again. Plays that through, and I think it was Wawak that came up and just banged it back up the field. Shields, dispossessed. Gower. Shields sticks with it. Turns her backward. Mullen. Tarafdar. DeMars. Heavy touch as Bureau had to try to chest that down just to have some kind of control of it. And it's out for an ETSU throw. A-step.
Now we should have some gaps. Now Ruby's in a half space.
A-step has had to step into a big role.
Can we get Ruby in
McLean Jones and Molly Kaysen both went down with major injuries at West Georgia. E-step has played every minute since.
Good.
And has been exactly what they need her to be in a critical spot.
Fight for it. Fight for it.
Sophomore from just down the road in Jonesboro.
Slow it up, Carol. Slow it up.
She's formed a really good center back partnership with Ella Parker, the junior from Georgia. And she's on the ball once more, 24 in white. Ainsley Parker, top player out of Canada in the 2025 recruiting class. Ainsley Parker sends that ball long, push back to Greer, And Navola just has to launch that out into touch to get it away from the pressing Georgia Shields.
Start to read that and drop. Ruby comes into half space. Find the 8.
And Navola maybe having a little bit of a tough time just reading the ball, going from the shade to the setting sun. Little contact, referee says play on.
Good. Give it cover.
Markey
Use the sideline.
is basically bullied out of bounds by Ainsley Parker that time. And that number 6 role, that defensive midfielder, has been occupied by a Canadian for ETSU for quite a while. Natalie Caponelli is not in the lineup tonight, has not played yet this season with an injury, but Ainsley Parker has carried on that tradition really nicely of just being the physical, disruptive, kind of bulldog ball winner that you need in that position. Brings the grit, brings the toughness, brings the aggression to disrupt the other team's buildup and take the ball away and let your attacking options get forward and get to work. As Etsu laid that down, and nobody on the same frequency that time. Cooper, good work. Picks the pocket of Julia Greer, and then Greer commits the foul. Cooper coming back to get after the ball. Really nice piece of defending from the front. Etsu has to send this back. E-step. Ella Parker.
Don't get stagnant. Rotate position.
18th minute. Buccaneers with the lead. If you're just joining us, Reagan Fitzgerald in the 5th minute.
Now, there, come on, fight room.
Long ball looking for Texera in the box. Texera, 1v1, has it knocked away by Mary Lise Greer. And that is a goal kick.
Grace, you moving around, getting open. Ainsley,
Texera has played a lot more centrally over the last few weeks, and somebody that has really kind of set up shop over the years down the touchline, just running up and down and trying to deliver crosses and pick out headers and boots, has now had more opportunities to get at goal herself. Here's Etsu. This is a de facto free kick. Trying to play it out toward Wawak, and it's launched away for a throw-in. And Wofford getting ready to make a substitution. Ansley Elizalde, is set to check in for the Terriers in just a few moments' time. Cooper, and catches Comerford offside. I think they're making an additional change, it looks like. Emma Valdez, who has not played a ton of minutes, but has appeared in every game so far this season for Wofford, and they're adding to it. So this is at least a triple substitution. Annie Andrews getting ready to check in. Terriers trying to get something going with Obradovic. Lays that off to Bureau, and the Terriers can't control it. Etsu can't quite get a hold of that one. Minor launches it forward over the top, looking for Bureau to run onto it, but Wawak is comfortably the first one there. Caroline Wawak, the freshman, Charlotte, North Carolina, 5'11". Looks every bit of it, too. Tall out there in the right back spot. And has the pace to play down the wing. And that's really the element that they need, that any team needs. You're looking for the pace. I mean, normally it's smaller, faster players out there, but if you can get somebody that's really tall and can also do a good job of surveying the field in front of her. And Wawak is a player that's going to have an impact on ETSU for a really long time. It's out for a goal kick, and the substitutions come for the Terriers. Elizalde, Andrews, and Valdez. And it looks like it's mainly changes up front and down the wings. Bureau, Tarafdar, and Obradovac all out. Andrews, sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina, takes her spot at the top of the formation. Fitzgerald with a little header, fights through a lot of contact that time with Mullen, and has the ball on the left wing. Looking for her options, goes Texera. Texera trying to spin away from Greer. Low cross along the ground, gets it away, or a sliding tackle gets it away from Etsu. Buccaneers retain possession as they twist the left back up the left touchline. So Wawak playing more central. Andrews trying to disrupt some progress. Excuse me, that's Greer, Julia Greer, trying to create some disruption on the press. Nothing doing. Here's Georgia Shields down the left flank. Shields into the box, cross comes in. Cooper was there. And Emma Valdez was the one that thwarted a really good opportunity for Cooper and allows Navola to collect. 22nd minute coming to a close as ETSU has the lead, and they put on some pretty good pressure. And it looks like Abby Haber getting ready to check in for the Buccaneers. Mary Lee Greer sends this over the top looking for Andrews and Addison Yelton. Her first real work of the night. Sweeps that out to the left side. Texera heads it forward, just trying to create time and space for the press to gain its shape. There's a good step by Etsu. Gets it away from Minor. Along the ground, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald looking. Now one-on-one with Mullen. Great sliding tackle. Fitzgerald still has the ball with her back to two defenders. Fitzgerald tries to play the cross in, and it's right along the end line where Navola dives on it. Yeah, Mullen's done good work to defend Fitzgerald, keep her from having a lot of opportunities to turn the ball and try to either get a cross back central or take a shot from the run of play. But Fitzgerald is the difference in the game now for these two clubs, as there's a little slip from Julia Greer. But she recovers and gets the ball back forward. And then Shields takes it away and gets it back to Ella Parker. Shields, good pass, Fitzgerald. One touch, trying to go to Etsu. And it caroms away. ETSU's had a lot of creativity, but the finishing touch has been missing. A-Step has to send that all the way back to Yelton. Into the 25th minute. ETSU will feel good about their position, but they'll love to see one more go up on the board before halftime. The Buccaneers have gotten the better of the Terriers in convincing fashion over the last couple of years. Last year, they went to Spartanburg and got a 3-0 win. And the year before that was a convincing win here. Etsu, Minor for Wofford. Left side, this is Valdez. Kate Markey. Gower plays this through looking for Andrews. Andrews has a shot. The shot deflected by the keeper and out for a corner. May have been deflected by Yelton, may have been deflected by a couple different players. But now the Terriers with an opportunity to get an equalizer. And this is right into the setting sun. So you see Yelton with both hands over her eyes, trying to see what Ellie Gower's got cooking down in the corner. Outswinger with the right foot. That's headed up in the air. And Estep does good work. But the ball's still live and the challenge still on. Takes another deflection. Settles for Gower. Gower fires and missed over the top. Didn't miss it by a lot. But looking for her third collegiate goal and her first this year. Not there. Abby Hayberg in for Ruby Texera. Alex Beck. Good to see Beck back out there. She returned from injury against Mercer. Checking in for Jada Cooper in the 27th minute. And Beck, I mean, that's kind of an out of the frying pan into the fire situation for Wofford's back line. You know, Cooper's so good with her feet, and Beck has got so much pace and can also get the ball into space. Here's Hayberg, fresh onto the field, and with an opportunity, Hayberg drives it low and scores! Power up the super sub. Abby Hayberg's first collegiate goal puts ETSU in front by a deuce. Seconds after she comes into the game, Abby Hayberg delivers. And that's just a great shot. Given a little bit of an angle by Mary Lise Greer, and Navola trying to take away the near post. The far post had enough daylight for Hayberg. And the freshman from Harrison, Georgia, scores for the first time in college soccer in the 27th minute, and ETSU is in cruise control. Or more appropriately, at cruising speed. I don't know that they've hit cruise control just yet. But they have a 2-0 lead with 18 minutes left in the first half. And there's a foul for ETSU and a free kick for the Terriers. So Hayberg delivers to put the Buccaneers in front by a good, solid margin. They say certain sports, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous one, and it might be about to shrink. Yelton dives on it. Backline got a little bit sleepy. Two Terriers had a crack at it, but neither could convert. Addison Yelton quick with the gloves. Nearly took one in the face. Take another look at this. The boot save. And then Yelton. That was Delaney Minor on the initial shot. And then Yelton with the save. And Fitzgerald, hungry for a little bit more. Cross is blocked out. Well, ETSU has been able in the past to get a lead on the Terriers and keep it. They beat Wofford 4-1 in 2023 on this field, 3-0 in Spartanburg last year as Comerford checks out for Taryn Childers. Ava Duffy in as well for Georgia Shields to get a breather in the final 16 minutes of the first half. Corner comes in, that's punched in the air by Navola, and it's out. That's another corner. Eats may be thinking about the Olympico that got scored on ETSU last week at Mercer. Made the goalkeeper work with the corner kick. And this is another one for Eats. As we reach the half-hour mark, what a start it's been for ETSU to proceedings here tonight. As Eats with the right foot. Outswinger lurking dangerously. Fitzgerald has a crack at it. Childers has a crack at it. It's swept off the line. Buccaneers still with it. Eats takes a shot and Navola dives out on it. And ETSU has had quite a few chances. I would definitely call that a shot from Eats, even though it looked like it was maybe lurking toward the back post and hoping for a runner. Here's Andrews, gets the better of Wawak. Annie Andrews out wide left. Wawak has to settle for conceding the throw. So the goals thus far, Fitzgerald from Texera in the 5th minute, and in the 27th, Hayberg on a terrific run, some 35, 40 yards. She went to pay dirt.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Go, Alex.
Goal number 1 for Hayberg. Goal number 9 for Fitzgerald. And ETSU with a throw-in.
Back up, Terry. Back up.
And Childers takes that short, and Eats can't control it. And Eats has just been very animated because every time a touch doesn't go her way, she feels like she's missed an opportunity to score a goal. It's just been hungry for it and staying that way, and it's created a lot of chances, and she hasn't buried one yet. But you got to feel like it's just a matter of time when the determination is still there. Here's Childers. Pass Karams away. And swept away by Valdez. That's another throw-in. And the Buccaneers have Wofford a little off balance here defensively. All they can do is clear it out into touch. Eats. That's a threatening cross. And Navola picks it out of the air. Didn't miss Fitzgerald by a lot. As Juliana Cortez walks from the technical area to the scorer's table. 13 minutes left in the first half. Here's a good run for Julia Greer. Has 2 defenders on her and attempts to cross that ball, but it's blocked by Duffy. Nice little dummy to get the pass open to Parker. Terriers keep hold of it. Gower tries to play that central, and Eats, who's been really good in the midfield tonight, has been active, has been disruptive, has been coming back and supporting the back line and helping ETSU retain possession and gain possession when they don't have it and move the ball forward. And the Buccaneers have been going downhill against this Wofford crew so far here tonight. Already 7 shots in the game. Fitzgerald dispossessed. Here's Gower. Minor. Andrews got into a physical jostle with Ella Parker there. Here's Julia Greer. Along the ground, this will take a hop on the Summers-Taylor Stadium surface and find its way out for a throw. Substitutions for both parties. Juliana Cortez in, the redshirt freshman from Chula Vista, California for ETSU, and Charlotte Simus in for the Terriers. Here's Hayberg. Into Cortez, who takes a spot up near the top of the formation.
Come on, Dad. Slow your approach. Slow your approach.
A step, good step.
Nice, Alex. Great
Fitzgerald.
Good run. Keep going.
Weaves. Trying to break down Minor. It's not there, lays it off to Duffy.
Out of midfield.
Duffy, a lot of head and shoulder work. Tries to send that in, and Cortez got a whack at it, and I think took a whack on the leg. Impact injury, she'll shake it off as Navola scoops it up. 2 goals for ETSU in the first half. 5th minute set piece, and then clean break for Abby Hayberg to cash in.
Abby, who can we press? Cover.
Navola's punt, high and long. And ETSU sends it back into the Wofford back line. Ainsley Parker with a good header. Back onto Hayberg. Wawak has to reel back from that challenge. And ends up with the ball anyway. And some good support from E-Step that time, who was able to shield the ball from Annie Andrews. high in the air. Valdez has to watch that go out for a Wofford throw, and a substitution for the Terriers. Callie Gonzalez checking in. Junior from San Antonio. And Cortez, maybe a little more banged up than she initially thought. She's trying to carry on as Gonzalez comes in for Julia Greer. And Hannah Dawson in for ETSU. You want to talk about young players that have presented a lot of opportunities to score goals. Dawson has been one of them down the wing. She's been very active. It's another one of those, it's coming. It's a matter of when, not if. With the pace that she plays at and the intensity with which she attacks. There's a quick free kick taken by Minor. Valdez to Mars. Looking long up the field, looking for Andrews maybe. Walwack finds the ball and heads it forward. Parker. Ainsley Parker back to Ella Parker. No relation. One from Ontario, one from Georgia.
Nice run from midfield, Alex.
Ella Parker's ball forward, goes over the head of Hayberg. And back into the feet of Delaney Minor. Minor along the ground, looking for Andrews. Really good step there, Ella Parker. 37th minute. The ball's moving around quite a bit. There's not a lot of sitting still. And ETSU has been very active when on the ball. And even, arguably, even more active off it, trying to get it back. Duffy. Ducks inside on a nice run against Gonzalez. Slide prevents the long clearance, but the Terriers get the ball back anyway. Andrews. Greer. Mary Lee Greer. Long ball to no one in particular. Just trying to give the defense a chance to breathe. Walwack sends that wide of Fitzgerald. Crosses blocked by Beck, or the clearance attempt is blocked by Beck, but she won't run it down. It's out for a goal kick. Beck, 5'9" freshman from Orlando, really prolific goal scorer at Timber Creek High School. As Fitzgerald checks out for Kinston Evans, senior from Nolensville, Tennessee, who scored in the 4-1 win against Wofford on this field 2 years ago. 2023, she found the score sheet in the second half. This is Minor again. It's a Mary Lee Greer. Blocked by Evans, and I think maybe just a little off balance. This is cleared out for a throw-in. Parker boots it out to the right side, Walwack. Ainsley Parker again. Trying to switch that toward Childers, and it's knocked away. Valdez had to be very quick on that. 39th minute. ETSU with a 2-0 lead. They struck early, and then they struck again in the middle phase of this first half. And Jay Elton has been adamant, says need people to step up and score some goals, and Fitzgerald delivered initially, and then the more Fitzgerald started to find the back of the net, the more teams keyed on the junior, and that's opened the door for some others. But I mean, also just it's part of the system that Hayberg and Beck are going to have those open runs, and they have shown themselves capable of converting those opportunities. And Hayberg, a good disruptive swipe on that sequence. As she scored earlier tonight, she is cashed in, and the second one is usually not as hard as the first one. You don't have to wait for the second one quite as long. But some people would argue you press more for the second one than you do for the first one. She's like, okay, well, now the lid's off. The account's open. I got to score. Hayberg just sends that forward. 30 minutes complete. And Parker, a whistle and a foul, and play stopped. Yellow card issued to Hayberg as Delaney Minor is on the deck. And that's a yellow card. And there have not been a lot of free kicks so far tonight. But Hayberg goes into the referee's book almost straight away in the 31st minute. So it's a free kick for Wofford. Call it 45 yards, maybe a little less than. Mary Lise Greer will take this with the right foot, looking to curl it into the box and find a receptive target. Yelton started to come out of her net to make a play on that, and then had to immediately backpedal and let the defense do its job as Wawak ends up with the clearance. Hayberg nearly booted that right to Madeline Smolinski into the game for Wofford. Minor, might have been a little tug of the jersey there as Hayberg pops that up in the air. And Duffy gets to the ball right on the edge of the area. That thwarts that run from Smolinski, the sophomore from Delaware, Ohio. Mullen sends it forward, misses the boot of Andrews rather. And Wawak sends it up to Dawson. And Dawson, a little heavy on the touch, trying to turn and take that up the left wing. Out for a throw-in. Duffy. Looking for Kinston Evans. Evans couldn't quite control that. But now the Buccaneers can get the press to work. And it's Alex Beck at the top of it. And Taryn Childers flies in there to make life difficult for Valdez. But Valdez able to get the ball away. Try to get it to Elizalde. It's sent back instead. And not much in that for Elizalde that time. As ETSU gets it back again. This time it's Duffy. 42 minutes complete. Yeah, ETSU may be content to take this score into the half, but you got a lot of freshmen out there that will be hungry for that first goal. They've already seen Hayberg open her account. Duffy scored her first goal of her career earlier this season. She's a sophomore. And that was a decent-looking ball to Nivola, but didn't have a really good target in the area. So that lets the keeper clear her own lines, but only temporarily because the Buccaneers get it right back. Wawak, little heavy on the touch. Gets away from Elizalde. Good support, Childers. Along the ground, it's Childers again. Dawson, heavy first touch. Ainsley Parker. Dawson with the header. Beck with another. Or rather, Hayberg with another to play the ball into Beck. And then cleared away by DeMars. Ella Parker wins a battle with Annie Andrews for the header that time. Gonzalez into Elizalde. Right side, this is Greer. Off of Duffy. Dawson recovers the loose ball. And Ella Parker on the left side controls. And they'll just take their time. Possess and Kick it around the back, see where it goes. See where the runs develop. Final minute of the first half. That has been not all ETSU, but the score line probably not unfair. Wofford might feel like they ought to have one. Duffy hoops that over the top. It's back into the boots of Minor. Gonzalez plays to Minor again. Ainsley Parker, hard challenge, and got a lot of contact late. And so the final seconds of the first half tick off as Delaney Minor trots upfield. She has taken quite a bit of contact here this evening. Greer has to get this away quickly. Final seconds. Little bicycle from Elizalde, but won't be able to turn it into anything toward goal. And ETSU and Wofford go to the half with the home side in a good position, leading 2-0 over the visiting Wofford Terriers. Fitzgerald scored early. Hayberg opened her account in the middle of the first half, and that's got ETSU in front, 2-0. Halftime is on the way next. You're watching SoCon Soccer on ESPN+. The homestanding Buccaneers have a 2-0 lead on the Terriers, looking for their 9th consecutive game without a loss, and they're in a really good place in the SoCon standings. As we take a look first at the first half stats on a beautiful night. Those stats are brought to you by Garza Law Firm, and the Buccaneers certainly shots on goal and shots total. That doesn't reflect necessarily the chances that Wofford has had. They had one really good one where Yelton made a great save and then maybe had another crack right after that, and then had one where Gower was open on the right wing and just skied it over the bar, but had Yelton in a tough position. It was there were a couple really good opportunities that Wofford maybe left one out there, but the Buccaneers, from the run of play, the better team thus far here tonight. And our look, normally we look at the preseason poll, right? But the preseason poll doesn't really matter anymore. It's time for the SoCon standings. Those are brought to you by Food City, and ETSU, Furman, and Samford are all atop the table level on points with 7 apiece. They're all 2-0-1. Chattanooga, the Citadel, UNCG, and Western Carolina all locked in at 4 points. Mercer, who had a draw and a game that they needed to win against ETSU last week, they're 0-1-2. And Wofford and VMI also without wins in conference play. The Terriers have a draw with the Citadel that has given them those points, or that 1 point that they've got down there at the bottom. And the Keydets, well, could be a tough one for VMI in 2025. But those are the games. Those are what the standings look like coming into today. Those standings will be different when all the results are done. And those games are in progress. Some of those games are in progress right now. And there are some formidable games in progress, some eye-catching games and eye-catching score lines in progress. Because anytime you get a 5-0 score line or a 4-0 score line, right, that's going to get your attention. We will take a look at those a little bit later. But ETSU right now with a 2-0 lead over Wofford. We'll take a timeout and be back with more halftime coverage in just a moment here on ESPN+. So this one in a good position, and just have to make sure that they close it out. And then for Wofford, you played a decent first half. Probably feel unlucky that Delaney Minor didn't score one there when Addison Yelton sprawled out for a save, but you got to find a way to get one and then find a way to get another. But you got to devour the whale one bite at a time. You also can't wait. There's got to be some urgency about it. Terriers will have the ball to start the second half. Referee checks her watch. We're ready for play. And then Wofford, as Minor pops this high and short. Well, they nearly lost the ball immediately. As Andrews is still in for Wofford to start the second half. Left side, this is Elizalde. That was Alde. That's a good-looking cross. Andrews with a good run. Or excuse me, that was Julia Greer with a good run that forces Yelton to swat that out for a corner. Julia Greer, very aggressive. Just streaking in from the right corner of the box and creating problems for the Buccaneer keeper. And this is what you want to see. You want to see Wofford go out, put their foot down, be aggressive with that opening sequence of possession, and now a set-piece opportunity to claw one back and tighten up the game here. Right-footed curling corner. It's headed away by Greer. And then Jada Cooper back in to start the second half. Able to get that away, and a throw-in conceded as Valdez wasn't able to steer that where she wanted. Buccaneers have brought several players back. Comerford, Fitzgerald, Cooper, Texera. Big chunk of the forward group. Shields is back. That's not a surprise. And this is awkward for Wawak. She's got Elizalde for company and gets this away to Ella Parker. Kevin Dempsey's a veteran coach. Spent a long time at College of Charleston. I've seen a long time coaching his alma mater, Catawba. This is a guy that's been in these situations a time or two and knows how to get that sense of urgency about his team. Throw in for ETSU down their left touchline relative to the formation. So Shields takes it, rolls that into Cooper. Cooper weaving through traffic. Just flat ran away that time from Kate Markey. Comerford over the top, eats. Ooh. Oh, that had some intriguing potential, but ultimately not to be. Possession for Gower. Back to Elizalde. Valdez. Through the legs that time of Allie Bernard, the sophomore from Pennsylvania. And ETSU gets it back. And that'll be the trick. Move the ball up and down the field as much as you can. And Fitzgerald runs onto it on her right shoulder. Took a shove and wins a free kick. Right on the edge of the box, 22 yards away, give or take. I think that ball actually caught Fitzgerald a little by surprise. She was looking at goal, heard it bounce behind her, and then turned to gather it in. Yeah, you see a little bit of the expression on her face, like, oh, the ball's there. You just run and hope it'll find you. Carson DeMar is called for the shove. Grace Eats stands over this. This is not one you score from. But Eats can be dangerous on set pieces. Ready with the right foot. It's a good cross toward the back post. It's brought back central into the box and then cleared away. A-step. Mishits the header. Buccaneers trying to get a chance to regroup, and A-step has to buy some time, and then Ainsley Parker gets the ball, but commits a foul in the process. That's not the worst outcome, though, as ETSU can sort of reset their defensive lines, get 8-9 players behind the ball. As the referee wants the ball pushed backward in the 50th minute. Texera very aggressive. Eats got a piece of that. A-step comes up and knocks it back to Eats. And Eats trying to loop that to Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald ends up on the ball. Sticks that long right leg out and just sweeps it back to her. Here's Eats. And dispossessed, Minor. Gower. Gower on a run through the middle. Curling here, there, and everywhere, and now sends it wide to Julia Greer. Greer is threatening from this position. Cross is blocked by Shields. It's a corner. And now 5 minutes plus into the second half. Wofford with a second corner kick opportunity. This is Gower. With the right foot, missed it. Ends up a goal kick.
Can we drive to the outside white? Can we get our own corner?
Stady. Get a plane in there. Caroline, get a plane in there.
There's Addie Yelton, daughter of assistant coach Matt Yelton, has started her career at Ole Miss, played a couple games there. Tennessee didn't play last season, and now has transferred to ETSU and been the first choice keeper and one of the better goalkeepers in the country. Grace Eats plays that cross in. It's a decent ball, but it's headed down. Good work that time by Mullen to disrupt. And if she didn't, Jada Cooper was right behind her.
Come inside and help. Keep coming. Keep coming. Mid-goal.
Wawak, Fitzgerald has it taken away. Knee step, and Wawak really come together playing that ball back into Parker. With some width for Shields. Texera, little give and go, and into Cooper. To Eats, beautiful ball movement. Eats is dangerous from that area, but Navola read that right off the boot, even before the boot, anticipated where it was going and makes the save. And actually, they have made a change in goalkeeper that's not Navola. It's Kendall Joggers. Sophomore from O'Fallon, Illinois. Played at Chattanooga on September 18th. That was the first career minutes for Joggers. And now into the second half for Furman. Or excuse me, for Wofford, as Wofford, well, they'll look to play Furman here in the not-too-distant future, and that may not be a fun trip to Spartanburg, or fun visit to Spartanburg, rather, from the cross-metro rivals. And a foul awarded, free kick. DeMars called for the infraction against Fitzgerald. And ETSU has their big rival in on Sunday with Chattanooga in town. 1 o'clock kick for that one. That's a big one. It's been a very busy week of soccer at Summers-Taylor Stadium. It's going to stay that way. The men hosted Virginia Tech earlier this week, and despite going down to 10 early in the game, kept it pretty competitive. Vatech struggled to break ETSU down. They scored 1 goal, and it was a chance that Holmberg had Emil Holmberg, their goalkeeper, had a decent chance at, but he couldn't keep it out. Little glancing header to the back post. Pinned it, and then it bounced free. Or tried to pin it, and it bounced free. And then that was it. ETSU actually had some really good chances to score an equalizer late in that game. Well, then you got this game against Wofford. Saturday, ETSU will host, men's soccer will host a ranked UNCG outfit. Thinking about the last time they came to Johnson City and lost 6-0. A lot of familiar faces on that UNCG team that will remember what happened. And then on Sunday, it's the Buccaneers and the Mocs. As ETSU looks like they could be in first place in the SoCon at the end of the night. As Comerford was fouled there. Just took that all the way to the corner flag. A little bit early to be doing that. It's the 55th minute. But it ends up a free kick. Texera to take with the right foot. And clock stopped with 35:20 to go as the linesman has a conversation, I think, with a player. It's Ansley Elizalde. Texera. Out to Ainsley Parker at the top of the box. Parker shot blocked. Shields uses width. This is Eats looking for the cross. It's not there. Trying to fight through a lot of contact. Referee says free kick for Wofford. And then Joggers will take the free kick. That was a physical battle that Etsu tried to fight her way through, and you get an arm around the shoulder trying to pull a defender away, peel him off the ball more or less. Yeah, that'll be enough for the referee to blow the whistle. Etsu pops this high up in the air. Good vision, trying to create. Fitzgerald, a header. And she headed that forward, but just too much air under it. Fitzgerald, very just dangerous every time she gets near the ball, especially when she's already in full flight. And there's good positioning and good defensive work that time by Elizalde. Throw in for Wofford.
You're giving it to them. Come on.
And along the ground, Bernard
Find the ball.
back to Valdez. And with Markey, foul called and a free kick. Sixth foul on ETSU. Wofford moves options forward for DeMars. She's got it back off the free kick. Looking over the top. Parker defuses that opportunity before it ever gets a chance to really get clicking. Ainsley Parker. Texera, a little touch. Trying to turn with some pace. Creates a problem for Mary Lee Greer. It's a throw-in for ETSU. And Texera wanted to take it. No, they give it to Wofford, excuse me. Texera was certainly feeling like that was her throw-in before the referee signal. And Etsu been truly box-to-box midfield tonight. Has shown great range across the length of the pitch. And just been relentless in getting possession back and then trying to make things happen with the ball. Etsu switches to Wawak with lots of room to run. Wawak out right side, Comerford. Comerford has Valdez 1v1. Goes for the cross near post, and that's picked out well by Joggers. And 58 minutes gone. And a couple of good chances for Wofford early on set pieces that didn't quite pop off the way they were hoping. And it's hard collision between Shields and Bernard that time. Cooper tries to play that forward to Fitzgerald, instead finds the chest of DeMars. Buccaneers have to rebuild it. Ainsley Parker. That's well over the top of Comerford. Elizalde left side. Ball forward, blocked by Wawak. Now Etsu in stride. Etsu surveys, looks for Wawak. Wawak, that's an inviting cross to the back post. Clean header for Texera. But Joggers read that well. Going all the way across the mouth of goal. Makes the save at the near post. And that'll do. That's a good look for Texera, though, who can find the net and create problems in her own right. You think of wingers as facilitators, that's a foul on Comerford. You think of facilitators, you think of passers, crossers, crosses, through balls. Good little technical interplay. Texera can score. And Comerford can too. And scored her first goal of her career earlier this season against Radford, in what was a game where 6 goals were scored in the span of less than 10 minutes. There's going to be 5 goals in less than 10 minutes. Radford got one late. But ETSU had a 4-1 lead at that point, and now the substitutions begin. Beck and Duffy for the Buccaneers. In for Etsu and Ainsley Parker. So Duffy will take over that number 6 role where she was very effective early in the year. And Beck will occupy a spot, looks like in the midfield, just trying to get some fresh legs on. Remember, women's college soccer still has the re-entry rule in the second half. Yelton's goal kick, that's not the greatest. It goes right to Elizalde. Plays that through, and here's Markey in some space. Markey tries to feed Bernard. Bernard, challenged late by Estep, and gives it away to Ella Parker. But still pressure on as Valdez steps in. Beck, fresh off the bench, fresh into proceedings. Fitzgerald has it taken away. Beck fighting Markey for it the whole way back up the field. Drives her back into her own defense. DeMars. Bernard. Elizalde.
Now we go. Now we go.
Past the hour mark into the 62nd minute now. And Wofford still looking for their first one. And Julia Greer has a pretty good run going there. But Shields disrupts long enough for the clearance to come. And the Buccaneers have to settle for conceding a corner. Third one of the second half for Ellie Gower. And they're going to swap. Ainsley Elizalde is going to go take the corner kick instead. But they've got 9 players lurking around the box right now to the Terriers. Joggers is well up the field, the goalkeeper in the midfield circle. She's got some help in front with Mullen. Corner comes in. It's popped up in the air away from goal, and then Texera clears it away. Mullen is the pressure valve, trying to keep the ball in the attacking side of the field. Greer battling away and gets a throw-in out of Texera in a position where it was tough to muster anything toward goal. To be taken by her older sister, Mary Elise Greer. Ball came straight up and straight out to Beck. Cooper, heavy touch with her back to the defender. Goes all the way back and tracks it down. Ella Parker trying to feed Comerford up the right side. It's not there. Elizalde. Little challenge from Wawak. Ends up with Markey. Greer. Mary Elise into Julia Greer. Greer with pace down the right flank. Corner. And that's giving Georgia Shields all she wants and more down that right wing. And Taryn Childers checking in. Sadie Comerford out. And Wofford brings in Ines Obradovic. Ines Obradovic is in. Replaces Bernard. And Sashi Bureau back in as well for Wofford in the 65th minute. Corner in, off ahead, wide of the goal frame, headed away by a defender that time. It's another corner, and Obradovic just going to stay out over there. Obradovic throws up both hands. Right foot zips this one low. Bureau with a deflection. Gower fires. That's booted away out of the box. Looked like it was Wawak that got a boot to that. And then a big tug of the jersey and a foul. And the referee is going to her pocket. That's a yellow card. And rightly earned as Alex Beck was the player turning, trying to break out. Clock stopped in the 65th minute as Alex Beck draws the foul. And Beck, we talked about it earlier, that pace is so dangerous. And you get a defender that basically just water skis behind you, holding on to your jersey. It's, in many ways, it's a mark of respect, right? Shields, Beck, Duffy. Looking for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, a little bit of an awkward hack over the top of the ball. Trying to kick it back to herself. And she's got it again. Wide for Taryn Childers. Childers on the right wing. Childers running out of real estate. And that is a goal kick. Sashi Bureau, veteran, understanding her leverage in that situation.
Get back and win this ball. Come on, boys. Gotta be ready to compete. Can't have the belt.
Bureau's been a fixture in the Wofford 11 for quite a while, a senior from Virginia Beach. 2 goals and 6 assists in her career. That time really more about preventing a 3rd goal. It's a really nice pass from Childers to Beck. And Beck fights through the tackle. Childers left foot into the box, and Jada Cooper is through, and Jada Cooper scores! The hot streak continues. Fitzgerald creates the opportunity, and Jada Cooper, lurking outside the shoulder of the center back, pounces to the back post. She will. Won't get many opportunities with more time and space than that one. It's Cooper's 3rd goal in 5 games. And that may be the one that tips the game decisively to ETSU. It's now 3-0. Jada Cooper, terrific work. We talked about it earlier. Teams focus so much on Fitzgerald. It creates opportunities for some talented young players to start producing in those quote-unquote secondary roles. But right now, if anything, Cooper is the primary. 3 goals and 3 assists in her last 5 games. And she continues to be a major piece of the Buccaneer offense. Bureau doesn't get that upfield. Childers blocks it. Wallach in the 68th minute. This one over the top. Texera looking to get in on that one. And it's spilled, and nobody was alert to it. The joggers that time collided with her defender. And Mary Elise Greer nearly created an exclamation point. Fitzgerald, good looking cross, headed straight up in the air. Childers out on the edge of the box. Pass misses the mark, looking for Duffy. Instead finds Ella Parker. Texera zips that one through, was maybe looking for a spare boot somewhere to steer that on frame. Instead, it's a goal kick, but that gets the substitutes in. And Reagan Fitzgerald with a good round of applause from the home Partisans as she checks out. Andrews in. And Wofford also brings in Shea Stanley. Markey out. And Kate Markey gets a breather, and Mary Elise Greer out as well. Wawak lets that go, throw in. Does not let Obradovic get to it, more importantly. As Ari Patterson, freshman from Johnson City, played at Tennessee High up the road in Bristol and was terrific up there, scored 100 goals in her high school career. And Patterson had that one go right through her, was trying to wheel and let that, just turn away from it and let it roll on to Texera. Mullen. 70th minute, and ETSU has been the better of the two teams tonight. Wofford has had some opportunities they have not executed. They had a really good chance that Yelton made a point-blank save on. As that cross comes in from Wawak, and it's cleared away by the Terriers. But after that, the Wofford just hasn't been able to capitalize on opportunities. They've had a lot of corner kicks. Feels like they maybe have the targets they want, especially when Obradovic's been out there, but Obradovic's been taking some of the corners. Little hip check there from DeMars, and has to send it out into touch, throw in. And Jada Cooper is called for by Grace Eats. Cooper has another one, and rightfully welcomed back to the sideline with cheers and enthusiasm on a night where ETSU has been more or less in control. Not always iron grip, but they have at worst held on loosely and not let go. Eats, did she keep that in? She did. It's headed right into the chest of Joggers. And Alex Beck has a chance by the wayside. Wawak just blasts that right over the top. I tell you, maybe have not talked enough about Caroline Wawak. South Mecklenburg High School, that's a really good program. Actually has family at ETSU in the recent past. Carter Olaf is part of the ETSU baseball team. That's her cousin. He was a relief pitcher for the Buccaneers. Joe Panucci's crew won the SoCon championship last year. First conference title in over a decade for that ETSU baseball program. Wawak fights through a challenge. Here's Childers with some space. That's a decent cross, and it's blasted away into the night. And some desperate defending that time. I think it was Gower that raced in and just knocked that away as high and far from her goal as she could. It's a corner kick. It's Texera's corner to take here in the 73rd. Right foot liner along the goal. That's popped over the top by Joggers. That's another corner. There's clearly a plan for ETSU to create problems with straight line crosses right along the end line, right along the goal line. They've seen something in the film that suggests, hey, this is a really good way for us to find goals. And it worked. On the first set piece of the game, ETSU cashed in on a corner kick with Reagan Fitzgerald at the back post. Fitzgerald not out there now. Texera, well, that time sweeps it wide left and out for a goal kick. Simus returns, and Emmy Curran in as well for Wofford. freshman from Holly Springs, North Carolina. As Julia Greer checks out. And so does Ellie Gower. Those two have had to run a lot. They've seen a good amount of the ball, but they haven't been able to manifest anything for a Wofford team that knew they were going to be up against it. It's a rebuilding effort under Kevin Dempsey. But you get a sense of just how far you have to go when you get into SoCon play. Wofford finished the non-league portion of their schedule with a decent record. They were 3-4-3, which can be a very effective formation. But in SoCon play, lopsided loss to Chattanooga 4-0, draw with the Citadel 1-1 at home. That's a tough one. Go to Sanford, Bulldogs win it 4-1. Now you come to Johnson City, and you're in a hole with a quarter of an hour left. Addison Watt in to replace Annie Andrews. Wawak in, Wawak out. As the Buccaneers make some changes of their own. Duffy back in for the Buccaneers to play right back and see this one out. Ella Parker, left foot over the top. And of course, now the question is, how far can you stretch your depth? I think that's what this score line allows ETSU to do, is get some younger players some run and put some of their star players on the bench for a little bit, give them a breather. Don't be surprised if Reagan Fitzgerald doesn't come back in tonight. Grace Etsu is back in there, but how long will she be in there? Is she maybe in there for one more as the header goes over the bar? Ari Patterson. And you now look ahead to Chattanooga as they see out these last 14 minutes. And for ETSU, it is a huge game on Sunday. And now the starters, I mean, that's 15 minutes that your star forwards don't have to run. Right? You've got the game in hand. You feel pretty good about 3-0 over the last 13:48. Obradovac is down the left wing, but does not have the angle on Duffy. Tries to pick her pocket and does a good job of making it uncomfortable. But Duffy has help. Patterson, and now Etsu. Etsu over the top for Childers. Childers has good burst. Childers is the second one there. Knocked away by Valdez, and that's a throw-in for the Buccaneers. Etsu, Parker, and now Shields. But going back to the previous point, on these SoCon weekends, you don't have a lot of recovery time. And the ability to get some players out there that don't normally play a ton of minutes, that aren't part of your starting 11, that have a chance to get some run and contribute and be part of a convincing win here tonight. But also it saves the legs for a big game against Chattanooga. And the farther you can carry your starters fresh into a weekend, the better your chances of sweeping that weekend are. So getting on Wofford early, getting a 2-0 lead in the first half, adding to it here in the second half, it set ETSU up to manage this game well on their way out as that header goes wide for a goal kick. Play stop with 12:08 left as substitutions come. Comerford in for Texera. That'll be it for Ruby Texera's night. Had an assist on the first goal. And played some really tenacious defense as well, as that pressure created problems for Wofford out wide. And she was able to play central as well, kind of drift in from that wing spot As Wofford trying to get the ball forward, but nobody on the same page with Minor. Obradovic was way out wide left. And the other forward, Curran, was out wide right, and she bowled right down the middle of the 7-10 split. Duffy. Oh, there's a nice little move from Duffy. It gets an ooh and a cheer from the crowd. Duffy back on it. Through ball to Etsu. To the corner, Beck. Trying to play that along the ground toward the top of the box. And Bureau tries to launch it upfield. Forced into a throw-in. More subs for Wofford. McKinley High into the game for the Terriers. First time she's been in, the junior from Noonan, Georgia. Andrews returns as well for Wofford. As Duffy nearly ends up on the deck, does end up on the deck. Etsu, a little touch by Patterson. Beck, Etsu back with it. Just to poke it out to Childers on the right wing. Nothing doing. Ends up in a throw-in for ETSU. And Julia Greer looks like getting ready to come back in the 80th minute. Now Wofford's trying to get something going and build some momentum for later in the weekend. So they bring their freshman back and give her some extended opportunity to play. And she immediately gets on the ball, or excuse me, that's Andrews that's on the ball and gets up the left side. And she can make the offense go a little bit. Annie Andrews, sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina. And High down the left flank. It's a corner kick. She forces Duffy into a tough spot. So Wofford, they move forward with a weekend that doesn't get a lot easier or more fun. They've got UNCG. That's pretty much a must-win game for the Terriers. As yet again, the ball going in the wrong direction on a set piece. DeMars had her back to goal, and the ball was drifting away the whole time. And you need more than one hand to count the number of times that Wofford has seen that happen on a set piece tonight where the ball has gone the wrong direction. Etsu able to get that away as she slides to the ground. Here's Childers trying to play that ball through. Patterson gets to it, and that gives Childers some room to maybe work. That got there at the same time as the defender, and it's sent out into touch. Valdez has had to hold down the fort at left back for Wofford the whole second half, and really most of the first half as well. Coming in for Satya Tarafdar. Childers gets a piece of it. Parker and Andrews. His sliding effort from Ainsley Parker. Gets it away from the dangerous Andrews. Back to McKinley High. High in the air, Valdez. Off the head, Ainsley Parker. And looks like Jay Yelton is getting ready to empty the bench. He's got 6 players up at the scorer's table waiting to come into the game as Wofford brings the ball back out. Simas along the ground, right to Eastham. Childers cross goes over the top of everybody. Patterson can't control that pass to get it to Beck. And now Mullen. UNCG is another team like Wofford that has struggled to accumulate points and results. As play stops with 6:50 to go, and ETSU brings in 6 substitutes. Lauren Leslie, Hannah Dawson, Megan Burleson, Kinston Evans, and Aaliyah Cooper. So that's quite a bit of the substitutes coming in. Comerford, Eats, Shields, Beck. They all give themselves an extra little breather and a well-earned rest after playing some quality minutes here tonight and producing plenty of quality for ETSU. Ella Parker's still out there, though. And so is Addie Yelton. Yelton along the ground to Duffy. Duffy sends this forward, and here's Dawson with the burst of speed. Dawson has to woe it up. Trying to play the through ball, waiting for Evans. Ball comes back toward goal, and it's out for a goal kick. Excuse me, that was Leslie that had a chance at it. They were trying to get to Lauren Leslie, redshirt freshman from Knoxville, who has played sparing minutes this season, but getting an opportunity here at the end of this one in the 85th minute. And again, you got these substitutes that can go hard for these last 8 minutes, and you're going up against a Wofford team that's got some heavier legs at the back line especially. As they try to get over the top, looking for High down the left wing. And that's out over the end line, and that is a goal kick. But if you get those substitutes out there, you get 6 sets of fresh legs all at once, and Wofford's playing some of their more established players. And they've made some substitutions as well. Sydney Kitts is in the game at left back. Probably a couple others. But they've still got a few starters out there, and they've got their starting center backs. And you've got fresh forwards that haven't scored a goal yet in college. You know they're going for it. Here's Leslie. Along the ground, that's a decent ball toward Dawson, but Dawson was second to it. Throw in. Duffy floats that across the mouth of goal, looking for someone out on the opposite side. And a diving effort, staying with it all the way that time. The goalkeeper had to prevent that from spilling out of the box, and Joggers does an admirable job. She has had to make a couple of tricky saves tonight since coming into halftime. Throw in. ETSU has dominated the shot count. Game has been a little bit physical. Shots on goal, 7-1 in favor of ETSU as well. So, I mean, it's been not just possession, but meaningful possession, productive possession, possession that challenges the defense. And it's been about as complete of a 90 minutes as ETSU has played all season. Terriers back with it, and Andrews dispossessed just as quickly. Parker looking for Leslie. Curling back. Parker again. Over the top. And out for a goal kick. Marshaled out by DeMars. It was a set piece, and then a clean break down the left wing. And then one fell through the cracks. And Jada Cooper poached a goal for ETSU to make it 3-0. And they are on their way to a convincing win here tonight. And they've got a corner kick here in the final minutes. 120 seconds left. And ETSU will bring a handful of players up for this corner kick. As you see, Aaliyah is the older sister of Jada, the goal scorer. She's actually scored a goal against Wofford herself in her career. In that 4-1 win in 2023 on the same field. And the ball is loose. Duffy, Ainsley Parker, popped away. Leslie. Burleson sets it up for Ainsley Parker, and that misses wide right. Well, it is all smiles along that ETSU sideline. And Wofford, I think there's a lot of learning to be done. There's a lot of young players on this team. They'll probably have Sydney Sohn back next year after she suffered a major injury very early in the season. And that's taken care of very nicely by Stanley. So there's still work to be done as Dawson gets a piece of that one, I think, as Joggers comes out and makes a play on it. You figure Andrews, Julia Greer, Mullen and DeMars are both underclassmen, the center backs. Kate Markey. And those are players that are going to play a lot, not just in this conference schedule, but next season as well. And there's still a lot to learn. And ETSU learned that they can put together a pretty good 90 minutes against the Wofford Terriers. Fitzgerald, Hayberg, and Jada Cooper make it 3-0 in favor of the Buccaneers of ETSU. Their 9th consecutive game without a loss, and they have yet to lose on this field as they go out and get a big result tonight and 3 more points, and they stay atop the SoCon table regardless of other results. So for our entire crew here in Johnson City tonight, my name's Keith Brake. Thank you so much for joining us, where ETSU put on a show against the Wofford Terriers. All games streaming on ESPN Plus are available via the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. The Bucks get the win over the Terriers, 3-0. Have a great night.